Hey guys, welcome back. This is Nick coming to you with another video. This is episode 3 of our tier list when it comes to Immortal. This one will cover the Shadow and Holy Immortals. Again, we are going to look at it on a free-to-play, low spender, and mid spender perspective. So let's get started. Again, because this one is only a few Immortals, we're going to do a few pros and cons of each Immortals. We're not going to go in depth for each Immortal neither. So first, let's start with a Holy Immortal Cavalry, and I haven't unlocked them yet, but we have Khan. So Khubilai Khan is a decent Immortal. What he offers is physical damage, but also what is very important is the physical damage taken increase. 30% is not shady, is really good actually. But because of his kit as a whole and the fact that he only increased the physical damage, that means you can only use physical damage in your march. If you don't, if you have, example, a back row that deals magical damage, the synergy between him and your back row magic damage dealer is not optimal. He is not the most flexible given that, and because there are better options in the box, I think he only falls into the B tier. Again, Holy and Shadow Immortal are not easy to max. You should only really focus on one at a time, and if you pick one, I don't think he is the one to get. 2, you have Manco. A little bit of the same reason. I think Manco is also B tier. To me, Manco and Khubilai Khan offer something a little bit similar. I do believe that Manco is a little bit more flexible, but I don't think Manco is able to solo carry. And the fact that there are still a aspect of his skill that revolves around dodge rate, which is not meta at the moment, I think he falls into the B tier. Not the best to get in those boxes. Next, we also have another B tier Immortal in Nebu. I think Nebu offers something a little bit different. It was one of the first Immortal to offer, I think, something different when it comes to his kit. If you look at his skills, he has the passive, which increases his own initial energy, which is good itself. But when you look at the rest, his damage is actually pretty low. It's not the highest. He does have a healing increase and a physical damage increase, which can be decent. Again, this means he can only be used or should only be used with other Immortal that deals physical damage and not magical damage. So he becomes a little bit less flexible. 2, the healing increase is very niche. You need another healer. You need a healer in your team. And because a lot of healing cut is happening with Quinn and Khan in the game, I think he only falls into the B tier at the moment. Then you have Theodora. Theo, I think she's A tier, borderline S tier. It depends on the team, it depends on a lot of aspects of the game. But because right now, when you look at her kit, which revolves around healing, but also dispelling continuous damage, which is very good. But this continuous damage right now in the meta is not the best skills type in the game. And because of that, because there's not a lot of continuous damage happening, but at least less than it used to be, I think she fell from S tier to A tier. I think there are better options to get into this list, but also because Zenobia is a decent free-to-play healer that is very good to use, she lost some value given that. Then you have a Immortal that was one of the first release in the Shadow category. You have Siegfried. I think he falls into the C tier. One of the reasons why I think he does is, although the damage rate is actually really high, you look at this and you go, "Whoa, this is one of the best Immortals of the game." It's actually AoE, and it's like the fact that it's equally shared with the enemy, that what makes it not as good. A lot of the marches at the moment run either one or two damage dealer, then a healer and a tank with a lot of utility. The skill is not that effective against those teams because what happened is the tank is going to soak a lot of damage from this because it's equally shared. If it was a meta where you had three, four damage dealer in one team, it would actually be really good. But because that is not the case, because his skill is built around a fact, he only falls into the C tier. I don't think he is an immortal that you should focus on, especially if you're free to play low spender. Then we have another shadow immortal in Tutan. I think Tutan is decent. I think he can be a solo carry in any march. He is quite good. The reason I only put him in the B tier, not even the A tier. First, he is a spearman. Again, free to play, low spender, and mid spender should really focus only on two troop types, and I strongly suggest cavalry shieldman. So being a spearman, he lose some value right from the start. Two, when you look at his skill, what he does is a wave of 5 skill, which is decent. But you also see that he is going to make the enemy bleed. And the other part of his skill is healing. He's going to heal himself. This is decent, but again, because there's a lot of healing cut in the game, this skill almost, the second part of the skill almost go to waste most of the time. And the other aspect, which is bleed and tear, there's not a lot of skills at the moment are being used that offer a bleed or a tear. There's Blade Vortex, but other than that, there are not a lot of options for him to maximize the value from the second part of his skills. So because of that, I think he falls only into the B tier. A little bit better than Siegfried, but not that good when it comes to the options you have in that box, right? Then you have a support in a shadow um, category. I think she's decent. Tomyris is a decent support. I think she's a little bit less valuable than Theo. Now, what makes her quite very good is that there's no healing here. Healing is very good, but can be canceled, can be negated by Quinn and Khan, which are almost everywhere. She doesn't heal. What she does is she gives value. She's going to confuse one random enemy. Now, the reason why she's only A tier is because it's that number. One is very little. If it confused the wrong immortal in the march in the enemy team, the value that you get is not that good. If, for example, she confused the tank or the support, it's the value that you get from that skill is not the best. The second port, however, is also very, very good. Having a damage increase of 15% on all enemy if the troop is below 50% with the artifact 70% is very valuable for any team. Now, the second reason why she's only A tier is that 50%. With the artifact 70, it's already better, but that means you need an artifact. And two, it's time. 4 seconds goes very quickly in a battle. So I don't think she's the best option in that box. I think Theo is actually still a better option than her, but she is still an A tier in my opinion. Now we go to Himiko. Himiko, in my opinion, is the best option in that box if you only get one immortal. The reason is she deals a lot of damage, but at the same time, she can be used as a utility mage. When you look at her skill, you can see that she deals good damage, even more with the artifact. But the second part of her skill, she's going to put one of the two back row enemy immortal in a realm where they're going to be pretty much useless for the duration of that skill. Because of that, in her kit, she can be used as a support type mage, as well as a damage type mage. If you put her with skills a little bit like mine, or any damage skill, she's going to perform very well on the damage side. If you put utility skill on her, she's going to be able to support your team while bringing utilities from her own skill at the same time. So that is why she falls into the S tier and why I think she's the best option to get in those from those boxes, because she's extremely flexible. She can be inserted in almost any lineups. Then you have Bjorn. I think he is also one of the best get in those boxes. One of the reasons first is a shieldman. He's a tank, and his skills offer multiple things, but unlike example an immortal like Louis, which he does a little bit of everything but not very well, he offers very good buffs on different aspects that are very good. First, damage increase is extremely good. It allows your team to deal more damage. It's a strong 20%, very good. And the only condition is that they are in the scorched area. It covers almost whole battlefields. It's fine. Two, the resilience is extremely valuable because a lot of teams at the moment, except Alex March, run crit. If you look at Fire, for sure they're running crit. Himiko, a lot of Himiko Marches run a crit artifact, and there's quite a few crit happening with her. Apollo can, same thing. A lot of them run with a crit artifact, so they have crit built into their March. So the 30% resilience is going to give you a lot of value. Three, he also increased actually transformed some of the physical attack damage into lifesteal. So he can still be placed with somebody like Alex and give Alex a lot of value. So this is very good because he gives you multiple things at a good level. He is a shadow and a shieldman. He falls into the S tier for sure. There's no doubt in my mind. These two are the best options when it comes to Oli and Shadow. Theo is not that far behind, but I still think Himiko and Bjorn are quite the best option when it comes to those boxes. So thanks for watching. If you don't agree, if you have any comments, feedback, feel free to comment the video. And we'll get back to you soon with the Chaos Immortal tier list. Thanks for watching, guys.